Hi everyone, sorry to keep you waiting. You're watching Good for the Game TV. Having a bit of technical problems getting Gary on the line at the moment. It's all on my side. I can tell you my email's not going out with the link, so I'm having to do a complicated thing. Here we are, go into Twitter, send messages, receive messages. It's absolutely crazy, and I'll try to get him on through his cell phone. So Gary will be joining us in just a second. We'll be going through all those promotions. Just bear with me, please, while I just check the messages out on the Twitter and hopefully get that link through to him. I'm just going to go through to my email as well. Bit of a nightmare. There's technical problems hitting us early this week. We have, of course, got 3 shows coming up tonight. We've got the handicap rugby show at 9 o'clock after this one. And then we have the soccer EPL show at 10. Just having a look here. Even Twitter giving me some hassles here at the moment. So really battling on the technical front. Fortunately, I do have a list of all the specials, and looks like I may even have to do the show without Gary. So let's just see how things go. I'm going to keep on trying for the next minute or so. In the meantime, guys, perhaps I can just tell you about one of the promos that is coming up today, and it's going to involve beating Gary's cert, which hopefully he'll get to share with us. But for the guys in the live comments, you can start thinking now already about the England-South Africa test match. We've got that game coming up, and what we're looking for there this week, we want you to predict the winner and the total amount of points scored in the game. That's the winner and the total amount of points scored. See if you can nail that, and we'll be sharing Gary's cert a little bit later on, and hopefully that will come right. Just having a look. It looks as though the link has at last gone through to Gary, so let's have a look if he's joining us. He should be coming on soon, so hopefully we'll be there. Just saying hi to the guys on the live chat, just skimming through. I saw Oracle, he was online early. Ruan Faree, Vin, Naidu, good to have you guys on the show. Peter Paul, sorry, I always get that wrong. Chris, he's there as well. He'll be joining me, of course, on the soccer show. And finally, my email delivers, and Gary Lentin joins us. Gary, how are you? I've been talking for 2 minutes straight while at the same time trying to send you an email.
Excellent. No, all good. I saw it come through right now. I jumped on immediately. I hope that the guys haven't been missing me too badly, and maybe we can make it up with a few good gone mad bets for them this weekend. Starting right now, Brent, hopefully. That's
a Shaw Nicholas jumping in early, and he's guessing Yorkie is the answer to the question that we haven't even asked yet. So the guys are still laughing. I get a lot of comments on Twitter, Gary, when I put the show promo up. We sometimes use a picture of you with your dog, and a couple of the guys are out there are convinced that's not a Yorkie.
Hold on, Duke. He went to the parlor today, so I'm sure he could wait. He'd love to get onto YouTube. Duke, come here, boy. No, he's sleepy. What did they think he was, Brent?
I don't know. Some guy came up with a complicated name, and of course, I'm none the wiser. As far as I'm concerned, it's a Yorkie.
No, definitely. I don't know where he's gone. He was sitting in the lounge earlier. I don't know. I promise you he'll arrive. Right.
Well, Gary, we've got a big weekend of sport ahead because the Currie Cup final may be finished. And a big win there for the Sharks in Cape Town. But we move straight on to international rugby.
Yeah, well, I mean, let's just touch on that Currie Cup final. I thought it was a really poor game. I thought that neither side really deserved to be crowned champion of any tournament, you know. I thought Province were particularly poor. All in all, I just think it's a competition that I think needs to be revisited by the administrators, Brent. You know what I mean? It doesn't get the crowds. It doesn't get the public's interest. To be honest with you, if I banned everybody that's watching the show from punting on the Currie Cup, I promise you not one of us would watch it.
Yeah, no, you're right. If I couldn't have a bet on it, there's no ways I'd watch it. And just on that note as well, I mean, I had a terrible weekend because I was on Province outright, which I backed, as you know, on price alone, and unfortunately couldn't really change my mind on that one. And also when Cheetahs over 31.5 points against the Cardiff Blues, and in the end, although they won comfortably, they never added to their tally in the second half. One of those weekends for me, I did manage to make a bit of it back up in the Currie Cup promotion relegation playoff. That was on Tuesday night. And I backed Cheetahs there on the halftime handicap of 13.5. And I think you'll probably enjoy this one. I went to the gym. I thought I'm going to walk on the treadmill while I watch the game.
Right.
So, you know what the gym's like at 6 o'clock in the evening. There's lots of health fanatics there. Yeah. I get onto the treadmill and I switch on SS1. And there's Chelsea versus Spurs, or sorry, Man City v Spurs from the weekend. I storm off the treadmill. I go down to the managers. I say, you got to put SS1 on. And they say, why? So I said, there's a big rugby game. But of course, I'm the only person in the whole gym who wants to watch it. Eventually, it took me 15 minutes to get that rugby game on. And then I could happily stride away for the next half an hour or so. But I'm convinced that I was the only person in the entire gym who gave a damn about that. And it was purely because I had money on it.
maybe in the whole of Gauteng. You know, this reminds me a little bit of, I was at the gym a few weeks ago. You'll know when the story was when the guy, what's his name, Oliver Fisher, broke 60 for the first time on the European tour.
Yes.
So with 2 holes to go, I was just going through the channels. And I'd done my entire workout. I'd done my 3 minutes on the treadmill, and I was going to go to the sauna, right? Okay, not quite 3 minutes. I'd done my 25, whatever it was. And he was playing 17. And I thought, well, let me just watch 2 holes. How long could it take, you know? He played those last 2 holes so slowly. I nearly died on the treadmill, you know what I'm saying? I was like hanging on there. It was the only place TV set in the whole gym. But, yeah, crazy things happen with sports betting and, you know, what we do for it with ourselves. And, you know, almost like I was just sort of, how would I put it, maybe even superstitious that if I got off the treadmill, it would cost him a 59. Not though I know him, you know.
Yes.
An email what I did for the cause and hope he'll send me something, but no.
Well, it's funny, we're diverting a little bit, but I used to do the same thing when I watched cricket on the treadmill. And I'd say that I had to jog or go to a certain speed for the entire over. And then what would happen is the ball would get hit and someone in the crowd would pick it, would take forever, or a wicket would fall.
A wicket and
the ball would stroll out. And I mean, you were absolutely buggered. So anybody watching the show for the first time is listening to us, and they think we're both fitness fanatics. Yeah. And they're probably looking at us and wondering, those
are all our gym stories now, so they don't have to worry about them. For
you'll never hear another gym story from us, Gary?
Yeah,
but yeah, agree with you. The Currie Cup needs a major revamp. It needs a bit of an injection. But the international rugby is going to get us going, of course, this weekend. And it doesn't get much bigger than England against the Springboks at Twickenham.
Until Until next week when England play New Zealand at Twickenham.
Yeah, no, fair enough. I suppose for us it doesn't get much bigger than that. For New Zealand, it may well. And you've got us against England at Twickenham. And Gary, I did see early in the week, I think England, well, I actually called the handicap correctly early in the week. I thought about 4.5, but I see there's been plenty of support for the box. England in a bit of disarray. And I mean, you're a big price England. You're 8 to 10 England to win outright. Am I right?
Yeah, we are. There's a couple of prices where we're the biggest in the world. I mean, I'm not saying that, you know, punters from all around the world know about us, but one of them is England. We're 8 to 10 England without any handicap. You know, Dave and I differ completely on it. Dave thinks England will absolutely thrash us. I'm not sure. I just think there are problems in that England camp. They haven't got an 8th man at all. And I quite like Vermeulen. I like the loose forwards that we've chosen. You know what I'm saying, Brent? And, you know, a lot of guys, they're playing for their positions. They've been given a chance. The scrum half, you know, the guys there that the fullback, they've all been given a chance. And I think sometimes new blood does help. And I'm expecting a nice performance from the Springboks. You know, I'm not telling people to rush him. It's a pick-em game. You know what I'm saying? But Monday morning that either side won by 9 points, you wouldn't be shocked. You know what I'm saying, Brent? You know, so, but yeah, what do you think about it?
Yeah, I must say this game's got me. You know, we're going to have our rugby show at 9 o'clock, and I'm hoping some of the other guys can come with firmer views than me, because initially I was leaning towards the box, but I'm now starting to look at, like, for example, on your side, the 8 to 10 England, and you know, price starts influencing you, and you're thinking England at home at Twickenham, 80,000 fans. They're not going to, and let's face it, the box. I mean, both teams are missing players, but the box are perhaps not quite at full strength, and you know, Eddie Jones is going to want to get back on track. You've got Mitchell there, part of the coaching staff. And I start looking at that 8 to 10 England and think maybe that's the way to go.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, I'm looking at it from the converse side as a bookmaker. If you take the 8 to 10 England, you're giving me 12 to 10 South Africa with the draw, Brent.
Yes.
To be on that side of the fence as well, because I really believe it's a total coin flip and it could go either way. You know what I'm saying? So I just think that unless the punters have got a really strong view, you know, look for value. I don't know. I'm not sure that I see any value in this game for any punters. But I mean, obviously the experts in the show after this will have their opinions as well. For me, it's a no value. It's a no value sort of position for anybody. I'm happy to take whatever action comes our way.
Right, you're happy to lay either side there. So just to mention, I did mention at the start of the show, but I think at that stage people were still logging on. Our competition this week as far as beating Gary Cert, which we'll get into in just a minute. And you must predict in the live comments here who's going to win between England and South Africa. And instead of the margin this week, we'll go total points. What are the total points going to be scored in the game? The closest person, the person who gets the closest will win the 1,500 voucher if Gary Cert gets rolled. And just to mention that the winner of the game is more important than the points. So if you predict England and 34 points and South Africa win and there's 34 points, you're not going to win it. You know, so just to mention that.
But if there's a draw, we'll let anybody who's got the total points, they'll go into it and win it there.
Right, that's it. And I think, Gary, that's fair enough, because I think the draw's potentially another big runner here, like we had in the semi-final of the Currie Cup.
Yeah, very big runner.
Okay, boys, so start putting your predictions in the live comments there. Who's going to win the game and by how many points? And
Can
Gary,
I ask a question, Brent? For
yes.
all viewers out there, right? I'm going to ask him a question. If you had a bet on the Currie Cup semi-final when Province played the Bulls, and your bet was Western Province to win the game, would you expect to lose your full stake, half your stake, or win the bet? Right?
Yeah.
Everybody that enters, I want everyone's out there, enter. I mean, I know what the answer is. Everybody out there, enter. Everybody that enters, send me a list of them tomorrow, and I'm going to put them in a draw, and the winner will get a 500 Rand free bet.
Right. Is that now for the entry with the points, or for them to answer your question?
This is just a separate. I want to test the knowledge
Yes.
of people that watch the show, right?
Right.
So watch the show. If you had bet Province to win the game when they played against the Bulls and they drew, would you lose some of your stake, all of your stake, or win the bet?
Excellent, guys. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's make it. You can email me, brent@goodforthegame.co.za, and get your entries in by tomorrow morning, and just say what you would expect to happen in that particular game if you backed Western Province to win the game. You can mention it, and if you prefer, you can mention it in the comments column as well. If I know you, at least then I'll be able to identify you. I see the entries coming in. A lot of support for South Africa here, Gary. 52 points. South Africa, said Jason Denman. Nathan Mallinson, South Africa by 42. Douglas Slubber, who, by the way, was on the show last week, Ladraka, for that live pressure test. He says South Africa 50, South Africa 56. And I've got to say, Gary, he did brilliantly on the show itself, but I believe he only nailed 2 of his bets.
Oh, did he? What did he get? He got the All Blacks, didn't he?
He got the All Blacks, I think, and I'll ask him to say it in the comments column. Dougie, if you can just let us know in the comments column which bets you actually nailed. But I did check with him early in the week. He says he got 2 of his bets correct. Okay. But I was really impressed with him because he started off slowly, and we gave him a bit of extra time, and he certainly took advantage of that.
We'll have another pressure test definitely before the end of the year, Ben. I don't know what your plans are over December and everything, but we've learned that this is a really easy medium to get hold of people on, you know what I'm saying? And I think that, provided you going, we'll have some really big giveaways during the festive season. Yeah,
no, we can have, I'll certainly be away for part of it, but I'm going to have access to Wi-Fi most of the time anyway. And of course, betting never stops, Gary. Festive season, I mean, for me, I look forward to. I even start watching the Northern Hemisphere rugby and that on Boxing Day, and of course you've got all the Boxing Day English Premier League fixtures. So we never get tired of that. Dougie was just saying he hit Watford. I remember him backing Watford there, and I think there was another bet that he hit. I probably missed the comment here, but yeah, well done to him. He handled the pressure test really, really well. Gary, just want to touch on another one. We'll bring the slide up at the end. You've got a refer a friend promotion that you're going to run this week. And essentially, we'll bring up your email address, gary@gggaming.bet. But people can email you the contact details of a mate of theirs. You're then going to make contact with that mate, offer them a voucher. If they open an account and make a deposit, then the person who referred them will get a free bet to the value of that deposit up to a maximum of 2,000 Rand.
Correct. And I'll tell you what I'm going to do, Brent. I'm going to make the vouchers really enticing. So if you've got a friend that hasn't got an account with GG Game now, I promise you now, make it worth the guy's while to open an account, They'll get a personal email from me with a voucher from me that's going to have almost no turnover clauses. I may not even give it a turnover clause. I'm really going to make it exciting and enticing for the guy to open an account. And anybody that sends them, they're going to get 2,000 Rand free bets, up to 2,000 Rand, no arguments, And I mean, I'm not a guy that forgets about loyalty. They send us a customer that turns out to be a loyal, good customer, and he bets with us for a long time. The truth is, Brent, you know me well enough. Those 2,000 Rand free bets could be arriving in the guy's account on a regular basis.
Yeah, I know you well, Gary, and I'm sure the boys will go for it. So, guys, if you're watching out there at the moment, we will have a slide up on the end. But take a look. Think of your mates who might be punters but are not yet GG Gaming account holders. Refer them, and there's going to be something in it for you as well if you can get them to open an account. And Gary, of course, is going to give them a very enticing offer. Gary, what other sport we got going this weekend? We've got Wales against Scotland, a few other rugby internationals, and of course the English Premier League.
Yeah, and we got an early morning game on Saturday when Japan play on what they're calling an All Black B side. I just think that I just like to put a warning out there to the punters. Don't just go flying into Japan. I think the spread's about 34, thinking it's an All Black B side. First of all, I've always said I think an All Black B side would come second in the Rugby World Cup. And the other thing is there are a lot of All Blacks out there. The one thing about All Blacks, give them a chance and they try and get into the side of permanent fixtures. You know what I'm saying? And I think you're going to see a really exciting match. And I mean, it's worth getting up at 8 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, that one, the Wales Ireland, I think the mark is around about 6.5 points. And then there's another one, Italy and Argentina or something like that, which, that's just another Currie Cup final, right? ordinary stand and, you know what I mean, bad, boring rugby. But, yeah, and in the Premier League, yeah, we got one of our specials there, Brent. I think that, you know what I mean, this is another price where we're the biggest in the world. I've gone on to Odds Checker and checked it out. We've got 12-10 Liverpool. They're travelling to the Emirates where they play Arsenal. And yeah, I just got a feeling that, you know, Arsenal were poor against Crystal Palace on the weekend. They really were, and it cost me money. But I think that Arsenal could bounce back against Liverpool.
Yeah, and I'm sure the likes of Sean Nicholas, big Liverpool fans, he's also watching at the moment, and he's going to be getting on Liverpool there at 12-10. That is a big price. Just to mention to you, Gary, you got quite a bit of exposure on the Good for the Game forum earlier this week with your Japan handicap. I think you opened up plus 37.5, plus 36.5. It has been backed into 33.5, but I hear you loud and clear there. You got to be careful with an All Black side. Even as you say, a B side can sort of run rampant, particularly the last 20 minutes of the game.
No, exactly, 100%. You know, I think it's still a nice spread there, 35, 36. I think it's going to finish somewhere in the 30s. I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think it's very well set in the mid 30s, and I'm looking forward to a nice game on Saturday morning. I really am.
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. And anything else jump out for you? Let's go through your cert. I think you've got a couple of short-priced English Premier League.
I've just my cricket price, Brent.
Yes.
Because that's the other sport we haven't spoken about.
Yes.
The Wilting Proteas, they make their sort of like summer debut down in Australia with a one-day game there. In Australia, yes, they got hammered. We know that by Pakistan and everything, but they're back on familiar, comfortable terms now. You know what I'm saying? This is where Australia want to play cricket, and I think that the 6.5 to 10 Australia is a big price. Well, I think they'll win. I don't think it's a big price. So I threw Man City in and Chelsea, who just seem to be playing such fantastic football, both at home against ordinary sides. I think they're playing Southampton and Crystal Palace. So yeah, I quite like it. I think if you look at it and 13 to 10 and you break it down, you know, you should be okay with that treble, Brent. I mean, where can it go wrong, really? Okay.
Yeah, I like it as well. Look, if anything, I suppose it is the cricket leg that's perhaps the most unpredictable of them. Yeah. And I haven't been following the cricket closely enough, but I certainly like that. And I mean, Gary, you haven't quite been in your same form as you were a few weeks ago in recent weeks, but you're probably due for a nice big win.
I think so. You know, I really messed it up last week because when I logged off the show, I remember thinking to myself, you know what? I've led the people down a poor path. You know, I did like Arsenal, don't get me wrong. But there was a standout football bet last week. I mean, there really was. And I'm not being an after merchant. I just should have took that on the show. And that was Barcelona were always going to thrash Real Madrid. Let's be honest. I'm saying. They even money Barcelona. I said to all the guys in the office, I said, we cannot lay any Barcelona. If Messi was playing, Barcelona would be 1, 2, 3, 4 to 10. They don't need Messi to beat that bunch of clowns. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Real Madrid, that's a soccer side. You know, you can't lose Zidane as a coach, Ronaldo as a player. You know what I mean? I just think that the mojo's gone, and I don't know if they've signed a new manager, if they've done it yet. I don't think so. I think they've still got the B team guy in there, which is quite, you know what I mean? I think that there's, you know, poetry in that because they're a B team sort of performers right now, you know. But I think that they'll probably end up with Martinez, and I think that he'll make a big difference. But for the rest of the season, I'm not sure that Real Madrid can even finish in the top 2, Brent? You know, so I was poor, but let's go back to my form. That was a bad tip, and hopefully I'll make it up this week and we get back onto that trot of 6 or 7 in a row, you know.
Yeah, I must say, I also liked Arsenal, and I backed them as well. And I was chasing on the weekend, so I had a bit of a go at them. But I couldn't watch the games. I was watching it, you know, fast-forwarding it. And it's funny, when you fast-forward a game, you actually get a good feeling about which team is most likely to score next. And I was fast-forwarding that second half. I saw Arsenal go 2-1 ahead. And I thought, right, here I'm in business. And then I was forwarding it, and all I saw was Palace attacking. And in the end, the penalty came, and I wasn't even that hard done by. I really felt it was almost inevitable.
Exactly the same as me, Brent. I thought the last 20 minutes, Arsenal totally outplayed. And a good penalty as well, you know what I'm saying, the second one. And yeah, I think that Palace deserved to get something out of it, you know, and I think that Arsenal just never put the game to bed. And they had an opportunity at 2-1, they just went soft, you know.
Right, well, I'm going to run you through the slides now because we're nearing the end of the show. So here's Gary's Beat the Cert. We're not asking you to do anything incredibly quick this week, so you've got a bit of time, although you don't have much time to the end of the show. So if you haven't predicted yet the winner of the England v Box match and how many points are going to be scored, we will have this up on the Good for the Game side as well. But do that now. This is only for people watching the show live and commenting in the live comment section.
Are you doing that now, Brent?
Sorry, Gary?
I'm coming back now.
Okay, no problem. While Gary's wandering off to wherever he may be going. This is one we actually haven't spoken about this before, guys. This is an interesting one. England v South Africa first try double. predict the first try scorer for England and the Springboks on Saturday. And if you get both correct, you'll win 25,000 Rand in free bets. Now, obviously, it's not easy, but it's certainly not impossible either. And it's not going to cost you a cent. You need to be on Twitter. You tweet at Brent Graham. Use hashtag GGGaming Gone Mad with your selections. And it must come in before kickoff on Saturday, obviously. So here's an example. At Brent Graham, England, Johnny May, Box, Malcolm Marks, hashtag GGGaming Gone Mad. Get your mates to do it on Twitter as well. If you refer them and tell them to split the bets with you or something. But that's, if you can nail both of them, and it could be really difficult, but it may not be that difficult, you can get 25,000 in free bets. If there is more than one correct entry, then the prize will be split. And please note that no try is also an option. So you can predict, for example, that the Box won't score a try in the game.
And I'll just jump in with one more thing here, Brent, as well, right? I'm going to do one other thing. I'm going to add it. I'm going to say for the Japan All Blacks game as well, right?
Okay.
That will be in by tomorrow at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. The same thing. And I'm going to give 26,000 Rand in free bets if somebody gets it right. But if you spell the name wrong, you're automatically disqualified.
Well, maybe the no try scorer Japan's going to be a big runner there, Gary.
At least I'll get the spelling right, you know.
Excellent. So exactly the same rules apply in terms of how you enter, guys, and that's the New Zealand v Japan game as well. See if you can get that one right. I'm just going to hop back because I had it in a funny order. And just to once again talk about the refer a friend, email Gary at gggaming.bet. The details of a friend. I said by the end of the weekend, Gary will make contact. He'll entice them to open an account, and you'll be looking to benefit by means of a free bet there. Guys, all of this information will be up on the Good for the Game website in the morning as well. So yeah, don't stress about that. And I'm going to stop sharing my screen now. Gary, thanks very much. We've had quite a long show, about 22 minutes. I don't have a very big turnaround before my next show.
Right, Brent, I don't know if you can see me there. Can you still see me?
No, the camera's gone off now.
Okay, sorry about that. And now I've got Duke all the way here to come and show himself on TV, and you can't see me. But yeah, anyway, I saw that I lost the picture there. I think it's been a great show. I think we made some great offers there, Brent, and I'd love to give away the 25 or 26,000 Rand in free bets. So I hope the guys jump in. And more than that, I'd like to just give 20 of your loyal guys 2,000 Rand each for referring a friend. And you know what I mean? That's great. Let's see where we go. And next week, you've got I'm away, and you've got a special guest star on the show. And I'm definitely going to be tuning in to see what he says.
Yeah, looking forward to that one as well, Gary. Thanks a lot. Just laughing at Sean Nicholas in the comments. He's actually come up with Japanese writing. I don't know what it says, but I'm sure it's not a player's name. But Gary, thanks very much. It was a good one.
Just hint of next week, the man has scored a hat-trick for South Africa.
Right, that gives you an idea who's going to be coming on the show next week. Maybe I'll get the guys to try and guess that during the week as well. Gary, thanks very much. Look forward to chatting to you probably in a couple of weeks when you're back in action.
I look forward to it as well. Cheers, guys. You all have a great punting weekend.
Excellent. Thank you, Gary. Guys, thanks very much for watching live. We've got a quick turnaround before the handicap starts at 9 o'clock. Let's hope I don't have the same email issues getting my guests on the line. We have, of course, got a first-time guest tonight, Rugga Bugger from the Good for the Game Forum, a.k.a. Sean Nicholas, or should I have said that the other way around? Look forward to his comments on the handicap.